So we are trying potash again. Those of you who've watched the previous video for hedgehog know that we attempted it, but there was too much water. So we are going around the water at a little side access road. So everything's a little different. Normally you'd go and park in the parking lot from that one, so you can go look at the video for that one. So as I mentioned in the introduction to this video, last week we settled for hedgehog, but we had planned to hike Mount Potash. The river, which is quite wide, is usually fairly shallow, but the potential for falling in was fairly high because of the high level of the water. And while we probably wouldn't have been hurt, we would have been cold and it would have ruined our hike. So this week we decided to go around on an old service road, which was itself quite pretty. There were a few people out on Potash who we saw during the day, and for the most part, they also took this road. It's often not worth the risk of ruining your day, or worse. Okay, so if the river was not super high, you come up right there from the trail behind me, which you can't, oh, there it is. But we came up this road here. We want to, cross, and there is where we're going. It was not bad. It was 0.7 miles, just straight up, pretty flat. I mean, not flat, unburdened by stones. It is uphill, but nothing anyone couldn't handle. Now the trail gets steeper though, so we must have actually kind of reached the mountain part of the mountain. Remember how I mentioned in the Kearsarge video that the wood on Mount Kearsarge South was used to build 19th century warships, including the USS Kearsarge? Mount Potash has a similar connection to the timber industry. However, in their case, the wood was cut down and used to make potash, which is a variety of potassium variants that are used for things like making soap or saltpeter or fertilizer. So that's something to think about when you're hiking on this trail, particularly when you see the beautiful descendants of those trees, and think about the needs of industry, the needs of human beings to have things like soap and fertilizer, and also the needs of people to have beautiful places to go for walks. So, one more installment in the Passaconaway Viewing Appreciators Club. You'll see that right there. And of course, over this way is Hedgehog, where we were last week. It's been a long week. So we're taking a break for a minute. It got really steep for a while, and you feel that. You can see the full, no, not really, but trust me, it's steep, and it keeps going up behind me like that for a while. It's similar to Hedgehog, but it does, it's a much steeper, much more direct trail, it feels like. It's not a loop, so we'll be heading back down then. But it's nice to finally get to do it. This is the first mountain in a while that has been new. I had all these plans this summer to climb some 4,000 footers, some of the 48 that Allison has already done, and sort of try to catch up a bit. I had plans to do some 52 at the View Mountains, but I ended up mostly just hiking in Massachusetts because I had the time, and that was lovely too. But it's good to be somewhere and be like, oh, this is new, and also a little perturbing because you never quite know what's coming up, even though you have a map and you know what the map says. So anyway, we're gonna head up. So I know I said summer in the video, but of course I meant winter. This past winter I was busy, more than I had been during sabbatical, which is not a shock. But I really am pleased with the way the winter went, even though I didn't do much on the hiking lists. I did hike Tecumseh again and South Kearsarge again, and those were two wonderful winter hikes. My favorite hike during this winter was probably Potash, and I enjoyed also just sort of exploring some of the smaller hikes in Massachusetts, like Poet's Seat in particular was a great day. So I didn't mind, but it is, as I said before, really nice to get out and to do something new and something a little bit challenging. There's many more challenging hikes to come, of course. So that's Hedgehog, and seems to be noticeably smaller than where we are. Well, it's still a lot of up. Sometimes Mount Potash gets a bad rap because of its proximity to Hedgehog, which has such great views. But I'd hike Potash again. The views are a little bit different, partly because Potash isn't there to block them. It's a little bit taller, so there's a little bit more strain in the climb, which is nice if you're getting ready for something else. And really, it was a great day. It was our first spring-like hike. We didn't have to get our spikes out, although we brought them, and we could just start seeing leaves on the trees too. So it was wonderful, and I look forward to doing it again, and it is certainly inspiring for whatever we do next.